why you lose money in the back end is your upselling is random or non-existent, meaning the very basic formula that's gonna sound obvious is obviously total revenue means your subscriber amount times the revenue per sub, so your lifetime value. But most agencies, like I said, only focus on getting more subs, but they never really focus on how to get the most money out of every single subscriber, right? So what that means is your target that every single sub on average should spend per month is like 20 to 30 bucks minimum. That's a bit of an individual KPI. Don't yell at me or don't say any bad words in the chat because that's individual. If you have a fat black chick that's super niched, that's gonna be probably higher because the people who do sub to her have more money. If you have like a petite blonde that people have seen a million times with no personality, yeah, that's gonna be a bit lower. But your overall target should kind of be around that. And if you're below, you're upselling as shit. You don't really have a sales strategy, right? What I mean by that is there's so many ways to get it done. It's not, here's where your chatters come into play and the way you train your team. I might even do another group called just about hiring and about finding the right people, which is a topic in itself. I couldn't include it here. I have a bunch of YouTube videos though, if you want to check them out. But there, just to give you a couple of ideas on how to bring more money out of every sub outside of just selling them scripts, is right. First of all, send them premium content offers. So let's say high priced content overall. You should have a very clear SOP on how to pitch people custom content. I could even show you the script we have, but your channel should have a number given where, okay, as soon as a fan spend at least 300 bucks in that period, in that time period, they're gonna get a pitch and you can tell them, hey, what's something you always wanted to see from me that you never told me. They're gonna say something super specific. You're gonna be like, oh, really, you would like that? Or you can even tell them like, oh, have you ever had someone say your name in a video? They're like, no. And then you essentially get them to ask for it. Like, oh, you really want it? You're sure? Wow, okay, that's a bit, it's not weird. It's just, I've never done that. It would be a big step for me. Then you create the boundary that it's such a big deal for you because the bigger of a deal it is for your creator to do it in the subscriber's eyes, the more he's gonna pay for it. It's the same as if I go into a fucking restaurant and I'm saying, bro, just give me the fucking oysters. And they're like, oh yeah, we got them here anyway. Like, I'm just gonna pay like 20 bucks or whatever because like, bro, the oysters are fucking right there. You just have to bring them to me. But if they're like, oh, okay, we kind of have to drive to the beach because we're just gonna catch them fresh for you. Our delivery guy is on the way as we speak and our chef is instructed. It's gonna be a bit of a deal, but we're gonna get your oysters. I'm gonna be like, oh shit. And if they tell me it's costing like $1,000, I'll be like, okay, fucking fair enough, bro. You drove to the beach for me. You got what I mean? So get them to ask for the content. They need to be the person that wants it. You can just frame it like that. Oh, you want that, right? You are asking for it, right? Yeah, baby. Okay. It's a big deal for me, right? Create the boundary and then tell them, okay, but I'm happy to do that step for you. It's your first time for me. I just want to make sure that you don't judge me. It's such a big deal, whatever it is. So already assume that he's going to buy and give him no way out. Okay, let me prepare it, whatever, and then pitch him the price. So what I'm saying is have a very specific SOP and a very specific script on how to sell high price content. Because, and here's the thing, if you have a good pipeline with your creator, aka if you tell her to do a custom for the chatting on Monday, it's done at least by Wednesday, like a 2 or 3 day pipeline at max, ideally same day, but we all know how women are. That's the easiest moneymaker for you right now. Go through all of your subs that have spent more than 200 or 300 bucks, pitch them that with a clear script, and sell custom content where she says the name of the sub and does something super specific for like 400 or 500 bucks each. And even if just out of the, let's say, if you have like 150 people that have spent that minimum, which isn't that much, all right? If even just 10% of those buy the custom content for 400 bucks, that's like $6,000, right? So you can make $6,000 off of your current inbox like that, which is kind of optimistic numbers, but you get the point. If you have an account that makes 50, 60 grand, it's going to be much higher than that. Next up, obviously, tiered pricing. So you can implement something like that if you have bigger accounts. We tested that with a few influencers. If you have smaller accounts, it doesn't matter. But hey, you want to become a VIP, you want to get a premium sub, whatever it is, it works well. Bundle deals, right? Sell people certain packages. This works especially well if you have a creator that's mainly attracting the sexual archetype. You know what we talked about, different creator archetypes. If most of your subs are really just there to jerk off, we have that a lot with like Latina creators or creators that have really no personality, or with Reddit subs also a lot of times. You can start just treating it like a second subscription. Like, okay, tip me $200 and I'll just send you a monthly content package, a bi-weekly content package, whatever. It works. We've tried that. Not for a lot of creators, but for certain ones. It works, right? Strategic timing as well. So you can, for example, say, what I mean with this is set up specific subscriber dates. Every time you see people that are a bit inactive or that have the money and you want them to spend a lot of money at once, on Valentine's, Christmas, her birthday, we always do this. Sell a mass message to a list of people that are like that and tell them, hey, let's have a super romantic date. I always wanted to do that. Let's really sit down on a set time. I'll light some candles. I'll buy a cute outfit for you. And you're going to also dress up. And we have this online date. That would be so cute. Agree on a time and then have like a specific date script that we have. Where she's like, wow, I'm so glad we got together. Let's act like this is our first date. I can't wait. Which also, if you remember the big spender, the whale building, that is emotional investment. You really like kind of hypnotize him into thinking she's actually his girlfriend. Which again, makes more money. Last but not least, obviously personalized shit. Everything that they like. If you do a market analysis, which you should do at least once every 1 or 2 months, kind of just do a mass message like, okay, like what are you into? What is your main thing that you always wanted to see? And if more than 10% of your subs say one specific thing, okay, create content based on that and then follow up on it a week later. Like, hey, remember when you said you always wanted to see me ride a dildo, or you always wanted to see me like tied up in a BDSM setting? I bought something very interesting. You want to see it? And then sell them a script based on what they told you, right? Because they always have demands that you don't know of. This is going to be a bit abstract, but I think you guys get what I mean.